Hello and welcome back to Dodongo's Cavern. This is a re-upload of the original video, including this section, which is going to be the entirety of Dodongo's Cavern. The original upload had a sequence break that immediately got us to the bombs. We'll be ignoring that section and instead doing the entirety of the dungeon. Now the first thing we'll need is to grab this bomb flower in the center of the room, and we'll need it to blow up the rock that is hiding at the top right end. What this gives us is it opens up a switch that increases the range of one of the platforms to extend all the way up and give us a natural progression route to go through. Now, this is the place we'll end up coming to eventually through those rocks. Unfortunately, we can't get past them at this point. So our only other option is to go across this bridge, and we can see there's a switch at the end. If we go ahead and hit that, we open up another section of the dungeon that we can now explore, and get a lovely upskirt shot of Link here. Now, unfortunately, you have to fall unless you wanted to backtrack all the way back to the elevator, but that is way too much work for us. Now this room has a little bit of a gimmick to it, in that there are bombs all the way surrounding this platform, and you have to blow them all up at once. To do so, you can either grab one from either of the ends of the rows of bombs, or you could use that torch to burn that bomb off the wall, as we are going to do, and then use that to place it in the center to cause all of them to explode at once. Now you may have noticed previously when we blew up one of those BMOs that it had a silver rupee in it. Now these silver rupees are a sort of gating puzzle that is required to open this next door that we are needed to go through. And if you were to burn your shield, there's a Deku's merchant that'll sell you another one. Now, we have to search some of these boxes for these silver rupees, because these are common locations for them, so we're just going to go ahead and break those apart. Forget to grab the one for a moment. Now, an interesting tidbit here is that in the original Ocarina of Time, those vines were not climbable, and instead it kind of forced you to backtrack in order to collect the gold Skulltula that was hiding on them previously. Now, in the sake of the puzzle that they've created here, I guess they were forced to create it as a climbable obstacle. And now we have collected all of the silver rupees, so we can go ahead and progress. And you needn't climb these steps, you can instead backflip up all of them. Nearly fall off like I do here. Now this section, we're required to kill some giant Dodongos. And the easiest way to do this is just to get a power crouch stab with a Deku stick and just poke their tail and they died immediately. The alternative is to use the bomb flower at the top of that pillar, and it will damage them quite a bit as well, without needing to go to their backside. And kind of a theme of the Master Quest dungeons I find is that often you will find the compass prior to the map. Now, the map is in the original room that we are now re-entering, but is behind an inexplodable wall, which you can get a bomb flower there, but it is much more work than it feels like it needs to be. Now we're just going to fast forward through this entire puzzle because really there's no reason for you, the viewer, to have to watch this entire thing. It took me about 2 or 3 minutes to get these blocks into position, so we're going to shorten it down to about 30 seconds. Now that we've completed that, we'll need to collect some fire to be able to light all those torches. Now conveniently, there was a torch as we entered the room. We're just going to go ahead and burn these wonderful torches, unless you're like me and like falling off instead. Now that we've burned all these things, a door opens. So, to most people, this would look like it's the natural progression that you're supposed to go through this door. What the game doesn't really show you during that cutscene, however, is that this torch is now on fire after completing that puzzle. Now that is the actual progression, but we're going to go ahead and check out what unlocked for us here. And we've entered an empty room with shadows and some baby gomas. Now, from my mistakes in the first video with these things, I've learned that power crouch timing is not a very good idea. We're instead just going to jump slash them to death. Now the other thing we can hear in here, if you have your audio going, is there is a gold Skulltula that you can kind of hear scratching about. But first we're going to collect this chest, which has a disappointing 5 rupees in it. Come on, Nintendo, why you gotta play with my heart like this? And now we've collected the first gold Skulltula of this dungeon. And now coming back to this torch, we're going to require some fire in the next room. You can't really see it too well because of the loading zone there. We're going to take some fire on a stick, and use it to light this torch and then this web. We're going to get this Skulltula out of our way in order to continue on with these puzzling adventures. Now there's a bit of a rock bother in our way, and there's some baby Dodongos in the little cave below. But we're just going to ignore them, and we're instead going to find this rock that we're going to take and pull far, far away from its original spot, and use it to get up onto this ledge. Now, that big rock on the center, there is no way we can actually push it. The only way you can push it is if you're an adult Link, which, unfortunately, we are not yet. And now we're going to go ahead and put on the Hylian shield. Oh, maybe not quite yet. We're going to take our slingshot out. And take care of a few bats and Skulltulas. There's another torch here, which is kind of ominous to what we'll require. You can see a bomb flower on the wall there. And a bombable wall behind it. So we're going to go ahead and grab this fire on a stick once again. And use it to grab another bomb flower to blow up this wall. Now, entering into here, this room is slightly altered from the original. We still have the same fight with the 2 Lizalfos here. Now, normally there's supposed to be 2 cycles, more or less, to these. If you do 2 damage with a jump slash and then use a Deku Stick jump slash, you will more or less kill them, preventing them from running away. And now, there's these rocks in our way, which kind of were not in the original game, and you can see a gold Skulltula at the end there. These are more or less to prevent you from falling down to the next layer, which is a puzzle to get to in and of itself. Now you can kind of see a crystal switch in the back there. So we just hit that with our slingshot, and gotta get rid of that keys in the tunnel. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that bomb and use it to blow up this rock. Now under this rock is a switch to turn off the second fire. And as you can see, the first fire turned back on. Now this is kind of a problem in that it's a timed puzzle in hitting both this crystal switch and the other switch. But conveniently, if you were to want to ignore that puzzle entirely, there is a box directly beside the crystal switch that you could just use to jump up onto this platform, ignoring the puzzle completely. Now we're coming up onto the room where the bombs were in the original. Now all that's up here is a single rupee in a pot. Once again, there's another chest up on this ledge, as denoted by our compass. And again, it's playing with our heart and only giving us 5 rupees. Now we're back to the original location that we started, up on the top. And we kind of think, like, hey, what are we supposed to do at this point? We've just gone in a complete circle. But we take this bomb flower, and we jump down with it. Which is kind of counterintuitive in my opinion. We use it to blow up this wall. If you're extremely quick and have extremely good movement, you can use the bomb flower in the center of the room to get to this room. Or sorry, to blow up that wall, but it is extremely difficult to do so. Now we're gonna watch how the bomb flowers grow. Grow straight out. They mature so quickly. We can use this bomb flower to open up a room where previously there was a gold skulltula. And surprise, there isn't a gold skulltula, there's just Deku Merchant. He'll sell us a red potion. Unfortunately, our character here, Ketchup, does not have any bottles. We skip that on the way here. And we're going to use that explosive once again to blow up some bomb flowers that are hiding out in the wall. And as you can see, they make a lovely line to this rock, which contains this eye switch, which we can use our slingshot to hit. Running through those rooms, those baby Dodongos, not a problem once again. And again, we have another Lizalfos fight, the same as the original. We're gonna use our Deku sticks here and just smack him right over the head. Teach him real good not to come back. But we still have to take care of his brother, which our lovely Kokori sword will take care of him quite nicely with a few jump slashes. Now, a neat little tidbit in the back of this room near the lava fall is there is actually an invisible wall that contains a room with just a single heart. You know, just in case you needed it. Really, that's not useful in any way, but it's neat that it's there. And as you can see, that's the connection back to the room full of rocks. Now we're going to take this bomb flower, and there's another wall full of bomb flowers going up to something. Going to find out what this thing is. It opens the door back near the entrance. And here we have some Deku scrubs who just want to give us a bad time. We're not going to let them. Or are we? Luckily, one of them gave us some Deku nuts. And we're gonna murder that flaming Keese before he wants to try and burn our Deku shield that we are not wearing. And he was happy enough to rain some hearts on us. And here's a gold Skulltula we cannot quite acquire yet, as we don't have the means. As gold Skulltula tokens are not affected by gravity, and where you kill them is where they will remain. If you do not collect the gold Skulltula token, the gold Skulltula itself will respawn. Now this room is full of Poes. Killing them all benefits you in no way whatsoever, so we're just gonna go ahead and ignore them and let them fly into the wall. Now you can see that gravestone makes for a lovely explosive switch. Now we're back to the ledge with the bombs. Now acquiring these lets us light the Dodongo's eyes and progress further into the dungeon. Now we're gonna equip some bombs, and there's another chest, as we can see with our compass here. So we're gonna go ahead and open that wall and find out what's inside. And now we have found the dungeon map. So now we've completely collected everything that we're capable of collecting at this point. We'll have to come back at a later time to collect the rest of the gold Skulltulas we were not able to get. Now we're looking over that way. There's another bombable wall which hides a gossip stone, which we can't really do too much with yet. And the other alcove there contains 2 Deku merchants, one of which will sell you some Deku seeds for your slingshot, and the other will sell you a single Deku stick. Now, we don't quite need these things quite yet, so we're just gonna ignore them. Now opening up the Dodongo's mouth here, just gonna go ahead and make our way straight into the belly of the beast, so to say. And as we can see, the belly of the beast is the exact same as outside of the beast. Now we're just gonna jump and do a little bit of a damage boost into nothing at all. Take out this Lizalfos. See a bit of a flying enemy in our background, as I don't think those baby Dodongos were intended to ever change floors. So they have a little bit of a buggy state to them, it seems. We're just gonna go ahead and blow ourselves up here as well. Now continuing on, we're gonna just throw a bomb at those Armos to threaten them slightly, and then leave, because they cause us no harm whatsoever. This Poe is kind of a jerk, and he is the unlock mechanic for this door, and he just flew away into a wall. Like a rude dude. Luckily he came back and appeared for us. Now again, in these chests, we collect another 5 rupees. Thanks, Nintendo. We really needed that money. I'm just gonna go ahead and threaten the Armos here a little bit with some explosives. And they're unfortunately gonna push back, so we're gonna leave them a gift and walk away. As you can see, they're doing their victory dance, fleeing slightly. And that last Armos is kind enough to open the switch for us and give us a few bombs. Now you can hear a gold Skulltula in the background. We're just going to do a little bit of a tricky jump, as otherwise you were intended to come back here as an adult to collect this. As this is one of the few dungeons that you can actually enter as both an adult and a child, intentionally. Now as we come back towards the boss room, we're going to be switching back to your regularly scheduled commentary with both myself and Zarin, with both myself and Zarin, with both myself and Zarin. We're already at the boss. It's a 5-minute long dungeon.
It's Lord Ryolith?
Not quite.
Link's not even looking up. It's just like, whatever.
The infernal dinosaur. Feed him bombs.
Yeah, look how blunt his snout is.
Maybe they just happen to have triangular rocks. They just made it out of that. And it's over.
It certainly is ogre.
Shortest dungeon in the game. We saw. We left a man in lava.
Oh, he's cooking. That'll be delicious.
I also imagined that his fists are actually just giving the devil horns as he's dying.
This is the most metal death ever! And I guess he slurped all the heat out of the magma.
Yep. This is so metal.
You know, I hate it when you just take, like, a frozen chicken breast and throw it in the pan, and all of a sudden, like, the water stops boiling. It just, it's awful.
It's effectively what just happened, except with dinosaur meat.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to eat a dinosaur. Just to say I did.
I'm pretty sure they sell it in a can. Or is that unicorn meat?
Yeah, who'd want to eat a unicorn?
I don't know, I'm sure somebody would.
It's just basically horse.
What a wild adventure. That big rock blocking the cave, we had no idea how to deal with that. We can't even lift bomb flowers.
Well, why do you call him a thief? It's because his skin's dark?
This game has extremely subtle racism.
Fucking racist Hulk Hogan over here. Damn. With his gang tats next to his eyes.
Also on his shoulders. This is their initiation ritual. You have to hold a magical floating stone.
So what, you're gonna become one of them?
We're now in their gang. Now, an interesting tidbit, if you collect the bombs and then go on to Zora's domain and do the dungeon there, and complete that, it will say that the stone you pick up there is also the second instead of this one, and then when you come back to this one, it'll say it's the third. So the game actually was programmed to say that if you're doing things out of order, intentionally, that it will still consider which one is second or which one is third or anything like that. And that is actually something I did as a kid, is I came in here, grabbed bombs, and then went to Zora's domain. And that was a neat little tidbit.
And so it does or does not know the order?
It does know the order to an extent.
Oh.
At least between the ruby we just got and the next one. Unfortunately, if you grab the emerald last through glitches or anything like that, it will not consider it that way. Like, it will not consider the ruby the first or anything like that. Because normally you're not able to exit the forest in any way. Because backwalking is so fast, you can actually just walk past all the boulders.
Why isn't it gold? I forgot there were regular Skulltulas in the game.
Yeah. And they will not bother you if you don't look at them, or if they don't look at you. They have to see you moving before they start attacking.
I'll see Owl again. Yeah, fish time.
It's time to play the new Ocarina.
Gonna be a fairy?
Is this gonna be a fairy?
Well, I thought you were gonna put the. I thought you were gonna put a fairy in a bottle. I recall that being an excellent healing potion.
Fairies actually heal, I think, 8 hearts worth of health. And because we dropped the bomb, it'll explode during the cutscene. And the creepiest fucking thing in this
I
game.
was gonna say, yeah. Sword
A
technique.
sword technique, quote unquote.
Omni Slash?
We're gonna receive all of the Final Fantasy moves.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to suplex a train.
Not with that attitude, you won't.
We just need a little bit more strong energy.
I'm still saying, though, I'm gonna say right now, I'm going on record as saying that Link's best attack is Pogo Sword.
Pogos. Oh,
Smash
yes.
Brothers.
You know they made a game based on that. It's called Shovel Knight, and it's amazing. It is a great game. I love it. Thanks for telling us where your sister is. We'll sure to see her at some point. Bye.
Now you have a green bar.
Now we have a green bar full of magic, and this is actually required to beat the game. Normally beat the game, sorry. Because there are magical items that are required. Now, if this timer actually runs out, you burn to death, and your shield will burn with it, if you're wearing the Deku shield. But if you instead opt to commit suicide, in a sense, and jump into the lava, your shield will not burn.
That's awfully nice of it. Now, is that the Fire Temple?
That is where the Fire Temple is, yes. There's no reason for us to go down there yet. I should also mention beforehand that bombs are probably one of the most broken items in this game.
Why is that?
We're going to be coming up on that very shortly. But they allow for one of the widest variety of glitches.
You know, I'm almost in awe of the fact that I never found any of these glitches when playing this game I don't know how many times.
It's amazing how many things are actually in this game. Like, that people keep finding as well. Like, there's a thing now where you can actually collect light arrows in the Deku Tree. Which makes absolutely no sense how it works, but it works. And another little tidbit is that this tree only has a gold skull in it at night. If you go and bash that tree during the daytime, nothing will fall out other than, like, some rupees or something like that, if you're lucky.
Wait, is this Karako Village again?
This is Kakariko Village. If you take the owl, it'll put you on the rooftop. in the highest point of Kakariko Village.
That's strange, because you definitely... I thought you collected all the Skulltulas in here already.
Nope, we have collected all of them now. Minus the ones in the graveyard.
The hell's going on with your head?
That's a bomb that we're playing as the Ocarina. Now we can do spin attacks. Because we have the magic meter. And just rotating the joystick once will allow us to do this much quicker. Now, I cut out most of the farming. As you can see, we now have 20 bombs again. This is kind of important because we're going to be doing something we're very much not supposed to be doing.
Is there no roof on that? Oh, there is.
There is, a roof. Now we're getting infinite sword glitch again. Like I said, this prevents us from falling off ledges. So then if you take damage while flying in midair, you get stopped in midair. So now we are floating.
So you're climbing higher?
We are climbing slowly, yes. This is called hovering. It's not going to be used that extensively, but...
So that's how helicopters work?
This is how helicopters work, yes.
Well, I've been misled my entire life.
You can use enemies to hover as well. It's just more situational, more or less. And now we're up on the top of the ledge.
And you can't fall off.
We can't fall off for the most part, yeah. But it also can be extremely buggy. With a lot of seams, like here we're actually stuck now, so if you Z-target, at any point you're going to be stuck with that fixed camera angle. So we use it to backflip back onto the ledge. And at least this corner in particular is extremely finicky. At least from what I remember. So once we get past it, we're pretty much fine. And you can kind of see in the background there an entrance to something.
Yeah.
But we're going to be going to this nice little place. Normally you would require another item to be able to even enter this area. But because we're above everything, and if we just do a little bit of a side hop down,
And fall in.
we skip the loading of the door and all the torches that would be normally here, and we can just walk right in. Now we're in the Shadow Temple.
Can you even normally do that as Child Link?
No. You can enter this far, but the problem is now we're going to be doing something else to get past this big-ass gap that's in the way, that you normally require a hookshot or something to get past. So the reason I'm pausing here a lot is to get the frames for the explosion rate, and it allows us to do a backflip like that called a mega flip.
Wow.
It is very much not intended that you're able to get here. And another little thing with these skulls, normally you need the lens of truth to find them. Or to find out which one's right. If you just side hop, if you're holding the edge there, you will always make it clear and you will not fall over ever. So again, we're going to have to do another mega flip to cross this gap.
What frame are you looking for exactly? That one?
So this one we start holding backwards, and now that he's standing all the way up, we buffer an A input, and it lets us backflip at pretty much the explosion speed. So it makes your backflip go incredibly far backwards. Now, normally to get a silver key, a small key in this temple, you have to collect all those rupees. But this is changed up in the Master Quest version, in that there's now instead an invisible chest that carries the small key. And now they leave this place, we have to save, and it'll bring us back to the beginning of the dungeon. Just edited out all the extra nonsense that we had to mega flip over that gap again. And there is a explodable wall that's hiding this door.
What, are you able to roll through the fake spot in the wall that the lens of truth would show you?
You can just... Normally, any area that the lens of truth would show you otherwise, you can just walk straight through it. Even though it's, you can't see it, or even though you can see something there, you can just walk straight through it.
I remember this boss creeped me the hell out when I was a kid.
Yeah, this guy is a bit wacky. He is called Dead Hand.
Isn't that some sort of Soviet-Russian thing?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but you can hit him when he's walking away. Unfortunately, I kind of fucked up and got hit again. But what this man hides is the most important treasure of all.
Butts?
And this... Yeah, yes, he hides butts. All those hands he had were for groping your butt.
I don't think this is a hook shot.
This is not the hook shot, it is the hover boots. Which, even playing normally, getting these items incredibly breaks earlier on dungeons that you're not intended to go through with them. So, we are grabbing them very early because it makes things much more easy. For me, anyways. And then we have to leave the Shadow Temple, so we save again. And now all those torches are there. If you look backwards, the door would be there again.
But we don't look back. We can't look back.
We don't look back. We can't look back.
Not too far now.
And now we're going on to the intended third dungeon. We can beat the Shadow Temple right now, but it is kind of silly to do. Now that we have 10 gold Skulltulas, we can actually go and collect something from the from the Skulltula house. So we're gonna do that real quick.
Was he a spider or something before?
He was a spider previously. Now he gives us a bigger wallet.
200 rupees.
200 rupees is what we can hold now. And one thing that you normally get from that place is called the Stone of Truth, which shows, or which rumbles when you're near a secret, and you can blow up secrets to open them. So I just happen to know where that one is, and it has a lovely reward in it, so we're gonna go in here and collect said reward.
But did the GameCube controller have a rumble in it?
The GameCube controller did. The classic controller does not, so I am going pretty much off a whim and off of memory to be able to find these locations.
You mean the classic N64 controller?
No. It's a classic Wii controller. It's more or less shaped like a PlayStation 3 controller, minus it is very thin and plasticky and finicky.
Ah.
But I find it more comfortable than the GameCube controller when playing this game. So we're taking this chicken with us on a journey.
You feed it to the owl, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wait, where'd your chicken go?
It went away, unfortunately. I tried something else here, but I fucked up, so it wouldn't have mattered, because we would have went straight into the water. There's another glitch that we'll be getting into later that helps us travel much faster.
You know, they did make a horse.
It's faster than a horse.
Faster than the horse.
Yep.
Is it riding the owl?
Yes. Technically, riding the owl would be the fastest form of transportation, because he can get us from Lake Hylia to the castle in, like, no time flat.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
I met him about the Zoras, like you haven't met them already.
No, I haven't met the Zoras. Like, we have to use the melody, of course.
You definitely met the Zoras. You met the King Zora. He bot walked for you.
He did indeed.
Actually, he bot walked for me.
For you?
For me.
For you, yep.
Chicken time again.
It's chicken time again because I don't want to play the Ocarina again. And this is going to be one of the last times where we actually need to use that glitch. But we are going to collect some more magic beans in the meantime. We end up collecting 4 of them in total. And I think that's all we end up needing. The other ones can... The other items that would normally require magic beans can be acquired in some other way. So we're probably going to be doing that.
In some other way.
Yeah, it's not even, like, glitchy ways either. It's just you can acquire these items without needing to ride the magic bean plant.
Ah.
Like that heart piece up there, you can acquire it without using the magic bean plant, even though you're intended to. One of those ways even involves that chicken again. You can use it to get up there.
It's chicken abuse.
It is chicken abuse, indeed. And Navi really wants to talk to us. Like, she's been wanting to talk to us all day. I'm just not gonna give her the time of day.
You're a busy man, child.
We're a busy child, yes. We're not a man-child yet. But, yep, that nice man has moved over for us and everything, so we're just gonna go right past them. We're supposed to go rescue his daughter or something, we kinda left that.
Nah, she'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. So normally, to open this guy up for us, you need to drop a fish.
Which you have.
Which we do have a fish, but why would we want to use that fish? Like, we can I can't speak right now. Except, just jump up onto this guy and walk straight in. And next time we will explore Zora's domain.